Welcome to Textured Hair Care 101. Today, I'm going to show you how African American women care for their hair and explain some of the practices and tools. The first thing to note is that among African Americans, there is a wide variety of hair textures and styles. So, we're going to explore some universal themes and talk about the best practices for keeping hair healthy. In general, African American hair tends to be more tightly coiled and drier than Caucasian, Hispanic, or Asian hair. This means, for example, that many African American women wash their hair less often than other women. Once a week to every 2 weeks to preserve the hair's natural moisture and elasticity, as well as to avoid using a lot of heat and styling tools. It also means that chemicals and heat are often used to create a certain texture or achieve a finished look. Water from styling tools, rain, humidity, swimming pools, etc. can undo all of that work. Today, we're going to show you 3 ways in which African American women commonly wear their hair: extensions, relaxed, and natural, and some common practices used in caring for and creating that final look. Hello, and my first model today is Rachel, and Rachel is wearing extensions, or a weave as many African Americans refer to it. The biggest difference in the way African American women wear extensions is in the way that the hair is applied. Fusion, a common technique used today normally on Hispanic women, Asian women, or Caucasian women's hair, is a method with the melted plastic that is used normally at the root of the hair. So they take the gun with the plastic and they clamp it just like this at the root. So then an extension is added, which will just give it length and body. Since African American women's hair is normally more fragile, we use the braiding technique. What we do is we take a fine piece of the hair and we corn braid it. And the hair is braided back, and then I take the weft of the hair, which is the track as well, and I sew it on to that braid. And what it does is it protects our hair from being damaged because our hair is so dry, and at the same time our hair pops very easily, or breaks off, should I say. A small section of the hair is left out, normally around the hairline, so that weave or extensions can look very natural. So as you see, I added my extension with the braid here, very close to the part, but I didn't leave that much hair out. I just left a small section of the hair. So that's here, which here's the part, and then a little bit of her hairline is out. So if Rachel wants to pull it up in a ponytail. So when women get weaves today, normally they get a full head weave or they get a partial weave. And normally a partial weave is just to give it fullness or add length to the hair. So that's what I did to Rachel today. She has a partial weave. Commercial hair comes in a variety of textures to match the woman's own hair texture, which will create a more natural look. The amount of time it takes is about 4 to 6 hours for a full head weave. When doing fusion, that takes 10 to 15 hours because it's on each and every strand of the hair. And here's our finished look on Rachel. How do you like your hair, Rachel?
I love it.
Hello. Our next model today is Christina. And Christina's hair is relaxed. This means that she chemically straightens her hair. You may also hear African Americans refer to it as a perm, even though the end result is straight and not curly. Popularized in the 1970s, a relaxer uses a special mixture that softens the natural curl pattern and lengthens the hair. Similar to maintaining hair color, relaxers should be touched up every 4 to 6 weeks or 6 to 8 weeks, depending on how fast the hair grows. Remember, when applying a relaxer to the new growth, you should always see a professional hairstylist and not use at-home kits. However, if you have to, just make sure that you protect the hair that is already relaxed by putting a conditioning cream on the hair. So here's the relaxer, and I'm just going to apply it just to the new growth. And comb it down a little bit just to smooth out the curl pattern. And that's it. You don't take it past the curl pattern because you don't want to over-process the hair. When washing out the relaxer, a special pH balancing shampoo is used to neutralize the hair. Deep conditioning afterwards also helps restore the moisture and elasticity back into the hair. And also remember not to use or overuse heat on the hair, because what it's going to do is going to dry it out and take the moisture out of the hair. Healthy hair practices are very important, so you have to remember to get your trims on a regular basis. So that should be each and every time you get a relaxer. I also suggest for women with relaxed hair or pressing curls to use a ceramic iron at home because it's healthier for their hair. And here's our finished look. Our next model is Toya. Hello, Toya.
Hi.
And Toya has natural hair. Today, that can mean a lot of things, from wearing an afro to having dreadlocks, braids, or just being straight. Similar to what you saw on our relaxed model, this is called a press and curl, which means no chemicals are put into the hair. Caring for natural hair can vary depending on your lifestyle. A lot of business women like to wear press and curls. So they would go and get their hair washed every 1 to 2 weeks and press it out, which is what Toya has. Then other women like to express their lifestyle. So they wear their hair in an afro, or they wear it just naturally curly, which is normally a really soft curl or a very tight curl. It's very important to wash and condition your hair, meaning you should use a conditioning shampoo as well as a moisturizing conditioner, especially on African American hair. As I said before, natural hair comes in a variety of styles and textures. So one way is wearing braids. Women cannot wash their hair every 1 to 2 weeks with braids. So what they do is they buy a shampoo that's in a bottle, which they can spray on their scalp to make sure that their scalp is still being moisturized so they don't have a smell or the hair doesn't get too dry and pop or break. Women with dreadlocks normally wash their hair every 3 to 4 weeks. And when washing their hair, they use a conditioning shampoo and moisturizing conditioner as well. And they also go under the dryer to treat their dreadlocks so their dreadlocks can always have a shine in the hair. After washing and drying the hair, natural hair can be styled by using a pressing comb. And what it does is it smooths out the roots as well as the ends. Now all I did on Toya's hair was shampoo it, like I said before, with a conditioning shampoo and use a moisturizing conditioner. And that's what's giving Toya the shine right now. And it's not damaging to the hair, it's not gonna burn the hair. It's just gonna be a straight style as you saw on our relaxed model before. When pressing the hair out, it normally takes about an hour to an hour and a half. That means the whole process of shampooing, conditioning, and styling. Now when getting locks or braids, that takes about, locks will take about, wow, if you have long hair, about 8 to 10 hours, or 4 to 6 hours. It depends on the length of your hair. And then braids, if you're getting micro braids, which are really small, can take about 8 to 10 hours as well. After pressing the hair out, what I normally do is use the Marcel iron. And that's just gonna give Toya a curl, a light bend. A bend to the hair, which is going to give her some body, and she'll have lots of movement. We cannot use curling irons on our hair every day because what it does is it dries our hair out even more. So we invented the wrap. And what a wrap is you just part off a section of the hair and wrap it around. And what that does is it keeps the style and the shape of the hair. And this is the final look.